Hey everyone, it's me, Little Sunshine, coming at you today with a whole lot of sunshine. Pretty cool day here in Michigan. Not too hot, not too cold. Getting ready for the 4th of July weekend. But before I go, me and my boyfriend are going to go away this weekend to my parents' place in northern Michigan. Am I doing the right hand? I had to relearn how to do this when I moved back from California, that everybody shows you where you live and where you're going. But just finished protecting my house and white light, putting a pyramid of light around it, doing some Reiki to it, and I'm feeling good. So I wanted to make a video. I think I'm going to entitle it Being Your Authentic Self. But yeah, I've been kind of inspired. It's been about, I think, 2 weeks since I made my last video, which I'm going to try to pop them out sooner. But just let me know what you guys want to talk about, what you want to hear about, anything you're really interested in. I'm always open to in the comment section, or you can always email me, littlesunshine424@gmail. But I was really surprised. My tarot readings, I mean, these are my first videos that I've been putting out, so I really wasn't going into it expecting too much, but the tarot readings have a decent amount of views, which every view I'm just like sending love, extra love to you guys that you even are watching. So I'm glad you're enjoying those. Thanks for the comments and messages that I've received from some of you. But yeah, so being your authentic self. I am sitting here with my co-hosts. I got Shirley and Chetch over to my right, your left. And then my two beautiful co-hosts here. We had my niece and nephew over just the past weekend for a slumber party, and these are two of her little gifts that inspired me to do another video. So why are they here? What's your authentic self? What's going on? What are we talking about? And you know, I've seen a lot of, over time I've seen quite a few videos about being your authentic self, doing shadow work, kind of where I've come with it in my own spiritual journey is I have really battled with my authentic self. Like the ego self, my ego, which we learned here in the chakra segment, he's really hard. There's this masculine energy in my eyes, but it's balanced most of the time. But, it's this self that forgets who you really are until you move up to your heart center and your spiritual self, and you remember that we are all in one, and you can, when you're opposing forces, when you're team versus team, there goes my other co-host, Chetch. You're not living to your true self, because we are all one. So for the fact that we think like, oh, I'm against you, and I guess I could use my puppets here as to show, but like if Little Mermaid Barbie, doesn't like what, I'm thinking this is Cinderella. It's either Cinderella or Frozen. Probably Frozen. Frozen's more popular these days. But whoever you are, dancer, swimsuit Barbie, whoever. If these two people, they don't like each other and they're going at it, we're not living or we're on separate teams. I like blue the best. I like pink the best. I like this team. I like that team. USA, USA. And then, you got your country over here. It's craziness how much we have forgotten that we are all one. And it starts within. When you start realizing your true nature and your true spiritual self, and that we are just, a spiritual body having this very physical, feels so real at times experience. It's maddening. It can be absolutely maddening about, the suicides that happen these days, and the shootings, rampages, and all these differences that we see in each other, and we're not different at all. One of my favorite spiritual teachers, Anita Morani, one of my favorite things that she does is when she had a near death experience, and she said that, you know, it was like, we're all living here like this, and you have all, you know, all your fingers thinking that you're separate. And when she had her near death experience, it was like taking this veil away. This, you know, you could just see that it's like, oh, this aha kind of moment that we are all connected, and, you know, we're not really separate. So, just gonna get back to the authentic self. So for me, on my journey, it's been different layers for me. It's been like I thought I was being my authentic self here and doing, you know, everything that I was doing. And I do want to share some of that with you guys, because I think it's healing when we do express, you know, for other people to, you know and share who we are, and we're not just the only ones that have gone through this. But, you know, with alcoholism, which I don't like to get all hung up in labels, first off. So, like, I just think alcohol is, a lot of people turn to it in our day and age. It's very media friendly. It's very just vamped up that that's who we are, and that's what we're supposed to do, is work all week, drink on the weekends, party hard, until, in my case, it kind of snowballs more than that, where you're just drinking more excessively than you need to. Two other, I mean, relationship battles. So another good one is, you know, I've been in relationships throughout my young adulthood, and I completely lose myself in them. I completely just, and even like after I would learn, you know, we go in these cycles, I would learn and I'd go into another relationship just so determined, like white knuckling, that I'm not gonna lose myself in this relationship. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna stay my authentic self. Ah! You know, so yeah, in my own journey, you know, which really began around 2008, 2009, looking into, you know, all the spiritual stuff that I've kind of talked about in other videos. But, you know, the relationship aspect of it is, I would, even when I started meditating and like really liking all this stuff, really looking into yoga, really looking into past life regressions, really looking at healing myself, and I would spend all this magnificent time alone, I would go into a relationship after and just, and not even knowing, no, and I wouldn't at first. I would totally go, no, like, I'm not gonna let this relationship, like, consume me. I'm gonna stay with yoga. I'm gonna keep meditating. I'm gonna do this. And sure enough, I mean, slowly but surely, the relationship kind of, you know, overtook me. And in some relationships, I was, you know, a very dominated person, and in other relationships, I was kind of the controller. So, I mean, that is the thing about this lifetime too, is I feel like we get to live out so many different scenarios, that was just my karma right away, that I went from one relationship who was a very controlling individual, and I won't get too into the details, but you know, just very, I mean, thought that I was sleeping around, thought that I was doing all sorts of things that I wasn't even doing, but in his jealous, you know, living in a jealous, fierce state, you think all these things, and you're just blinded by it. And hola. Hola. I'm just finishing up. Go ahead. Speaking about relationships. But then, you know, I went into another relationship that was very, I was kind of, you know, the dominant one. So, it's just this balance that we kind of live through, where we get to experience this, and then in the same lifetime we get to go on and experience, you know, a very different part of our life. So it's very lucky that we get to work through all this karma. And that's the thing with karma too, is that it's not always, like it's gonna have to be fulfilled by that one person that, you feel like I was kind of controlled by or dominated over. It's not like that person needed to come back into my life and swoop in and, then we were gonna do the role reversal and play it out differently this time. In the same lifetime, I got to go ahead and be in that. I got to kind of... And anyway, what it comes down to is, I had that breather time after both relationships, finding my authentic self and finding, who I am and what I want to do. And I feel like that time, your time alone with yourself, is so crucial. Going into nature, being alone, meditating, whatever your form of meditation is too, is going to be completely up to you. There's tons of different ways to meditate. I mean, some it is just sitting in a chair, sitting cross-legged. I mentioned in one of my other videos, if something's kind of tickling you, like the grass or something, like don't sit there and try to like force yourself through it. Like, you want to be comfortable, whatever that is for you. So, I mean, I've come across people, even myself, I, have like physically, like my lower back isn't what it used to be, because I'm getting a little older now, because I threw it out at one point in my life. But you got to sit comfortably for you. So sometimes I'll lay down, sometimes, I just got to work with it, or accept that this isn't the time that I need to be meditating. So it is. It's all about listening, to your inner self, to that inner knowing. My co-hosts, I do want to get back to them for one more second. I'll leave you guys with this, but to finish up with authentic self, when we start as children, and as a child, I wanted to have Barbie. I wanted to play with Barbie. I wanted to drive her limousine around that my sister had, and I wanted to dress her, I wanted to do her hair, I wanted to do everything with Barbie. And it's funny because even as a child, that was like looked down upon, that a boy is not allowed to play with girl toys. This is Barbie, this is a girl, this isn't for you. You gotta play with G.I. Joe or the football, whatever it may be. But Barbies were kind of, off limits, not accepted. So like, you take that, you kind of store it away in your first, 7 years of development, that you've done something wrong, you're not going to want to do it in the future. And already at that point, I was, tucking away my true self. Like, I wanted to do, play with Barbie, as silly as it sounds, but I wanted to do this and have fun in my own way, and I was tucking it away just to be what society said that I should be. So as, I kept developing and kept, as I mentioned, like going through the layers of thinking that I, had found my authentic self and found it again and found it again, each time kind of, redefining, what it was and what it is. Now that I've kind of dealt with things from the past, you can go through past life regressions or, just remember these memories that you have had in, this lifetime or a past lifetime, and you live through it and, you can heal them. That you can, once you kind of, I think, heal those wounds, you can really start living to your full potential and be that authentic self and speak your message. Because it's very, very hard to actually speak your message and speak what you really want to come across when your true self is all smashed down in a little ball inside you. So, once you deal with the past and figure out, what your message is going to be, you need to express it. You need to find outlets that are going to work for you, and you can't care what other people think, because that ego is going to try to pop up. The little devil inside, the little voice, whatever you want to call it, and he's going to tell you no. Like, he wants to hold on to the old ways very tightly. And it's going to be hard for you to heal these wounds, but once you do, you can, I mean, really, really, really start living like a more authentic, a more healthy way of living. And, you know, it's one of those things where it's like so hard to heal and deal with things, but once you do it, it's just like, that roller coaster effect, that like, so scared going up, and then you have this rush going down, but then you're like, free again. So learning who you are and your true authentic self is some of the best work you can ever do. If you do want to learn more, I think I'll probably do a video, you know, an authentic self part 2 if you guys want it, or I'll just keep rolling it out. But if you do want to learn more, you can always email me, littlesunshine424@gmail.com. If you like what you see, you can always subscribe to my channel and give me a like. But I think I'll leave you with that, guys. We're going to go on our little weekend getaway now, and I'm super excited just to be in nature, be with people I love, being our authentic selves. Couldn't be greater. So thank you all. Namaste. Much love.